So back on the board with a little bit more of an update. So I carried out a second dry brush all over the tank with the Deathwood Forest. I then painted all the bare metal with Tamiya gunmetal. I know that the Sherman has rubber tank pads, and we'll cover that when we come to washing the vehicle. I also painted in, as you can see on the back here, painted in the wood and the metal on the tools, or the Pioneer tools as they're sometimes called. And then what I did was I painted the road wheels. Now I've always had a bit of a trouble painting road wheels using just pure black, and then sometimes I find that it doesn't run very well, or if I then wash it with water it runs too much. So I've got a Freddy top tip for you. I've used Abandon Black and I've used Games Workshop Contrast Basiliscum Grey, and what I do is I mix the contrast paint and the base paint 50-50, and I use the contrast paint as a flow aid, and it makes painting the road wheels so much easier. And because you're not thinning it down with water, you're not losing the pigment, and actually you're gaining something from the contrast paint. So that's a top tip. So next stage will be to wash all the bare metal parts and then wash the rest of the vehicle. So I'll do that shortly, but I'm actually going to do it as a video as opposed to doing it and then coming back on. So I'll catch you in a bit. Well, it's the next stage now. So we're on to washing. So I use New Lin oil as the shade wash. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a large brush to wash all the tracks. So just get some paint on my brush. And then, most of you have done this before, just wash it on. If it doesn't look dark enough, doesn't matter, just grab some more paint, put some darker wash on. Now I'm using the New Lin oil over the top of the vehicle tracks with the large brush. So on all the track pieces, if you need to, move the barrel out of the way, or you could even take the turret off. And just wash all the tracks. They might appear a little bit glossy at the moment, a bit silvery, but that's fine. We can deal with this in the next phases as well. So the wash, this is just the first wash over all the tracks. And also on the sides here, on the road wheels, so run a little bit of wash down the track. But then I just wash the road wheels. Really, it's just where there's any grooves. And again, if you run out of wash, just grab some more on your brush. I used to wash the vehicle over completely, the whole thing, but I've changed how I do it now, so just get a little bit of wash in there as well, just in there. And then I still need to, so you can't see there, can you? Me put it in front of the camera. Just run it along the top as well. All you're trying to do with the wash is get into the grooves and dull the tracks down. So spin the tank round. We've got a little bit left to do. So onto the track on the Armour, the track on the turret, and on the side as extra armour. And then again, just in and around the road wheels. You can see the paint, the wash runs out quite quickly when you're doing this. If you get a bit when you're doing it and it pulls really dark, don't worry. What you can do is, if you just go over the rest of the vehicle, and then if you just hold the brush on, you actually can pick up the wash again and just move it to another area. So we wash all that, and I've just got to wash the last little bit of track. So and then keeping the tank now, so wash along the top edge, wash along the bottom edge, and just make sure you've got the front and the backs of the tracks as well. So I just grab last little bit of wash, and then just make sure you wash around here. Right, for underneath here, for underneath the vehicle, if you can see that, just run a little bit of wash round. And that is you done with all the tracks. Now what I do now is I swap to a smaller brush. This is a 5.0 Pro Art brush. And then what I do, a little bit of paint on the brush, and I actually just go round where all the grooves are, just any grooves or any indentations, and I just run the brush round. This does take a little bit of time, obviously, with a smaller brush, but just take your time, just run round. All the tools as well on the vehicle, anywhere you want really, but like I said, I used to wash the whole vehicle, and I've changed how I do it now because it just looks so much better with just running it around the grooves. And if you find that brush is too small, just go up a size. But what you need to do is just run around the whole vehicle, washing all the grooves and recesses. So what I'll do is I'm going to carry on doing this, and then we'll come back when it's finished.